Hi guys. Um, so my husband and I love to take jump shot when we travel. No, I don't mean we like to play basketball. Um, I mean we like to take picture of each other jumping mid-air in front of the destination that we travel to. It's very basic. I know, but it's okay. Yeah, if my husband is here, he will correct me. He will be like, "No, I don't like to take jump shot. Only he like to take jump shot. I was the only one taking the picture, right?" So it was September of 2012. The weather has turned cold, and my husband and I decided to take a trip to Provincetown because that's where all the fancy Insta-gays spend their summer, right? So we were two broke graduate students, right? We spent our whole summer working, and we were just having a serious FOMO. And again, if my husband is here, he will again correct me and say, I did not have FOMO, only he did, right? That's fine. So we drove from Queens to Cape Cod, and then we decided that we'll take a stop at the lighthouse of the beach before we check into our Airbnb. And after 5 hours of long driving and a few wrong turns on the way, we finally got to the lighthouse. And then when we got to the lighthouse, and my husband was just like, the sun is setting. Like, why don't we just forget this and just go to the Airbnb? And I was like, no, oh God, no. We took such a long drive here. Like, I could already hear Nicki Minaj like Starship playing in my head. It's like, let's go to the beach, let's get on the wave, right? So I was like, no, I am going to the ocean, right? So I took off my shoes and I started, running toward the ocean. And I asked my husband to start taking out the digital camera to start taking jump shot. So I started posing for the jump shot. I was like, all right, straight leg jumps, mid-air split, right, side jump, or street fighter kick jump, or whatever, I don't know. So it was like 30 minutes of us kind of taking turn, taking picture for each other. And then and then after that, the sun has finally set, and I reached my hand to my pocket, and then I was like, oh shit, did you have my car key by any chance? And my husband was like, you were the one driving. And then I reached my other hand to my other pocket, and I was like, wait, where's my wallet and my phone? They all were dropped in the ocean in between my 14 and 15 side jumps. I don't know. My husband was really pissed. He was like, why didn't you leave your stuff at the shore when you were, started jumping up and down? I was like, I don't know. I thought people were gonna take the stuff. He was like, look around you. Do you see any human being here? It was literally empty. It was just two of us over there. And my husband was in between phone contract at the time, so he also did not have his cell phone with him. So we would started bickering at each other, and then we're just kind of slowly walking along the small road out of the beach, and then it was cold. The temperature start dropping to 30 to 40 degree, and we were only having 2 layers of like clothes, and we're soaking wet, and we're shivering as we were walking. And then I saw a small wooden house in front of us, right? And there were lights coming out from the second floor living room. And I was like, oh my God, we found help. So I started running towards the house. And then I saw a couple of middle-aged men and women were inside the living room watching TV. Their back was against the window. And then so I just got really excited, and I just run up to that. And I was just like, hey, help. Like, I started jumping. I was like, help us. Like, we lost our key in the ocean. The couple inside the house heard us, and they immediately stood up and looked back at the window. And the woman was clearly in shock. Her eyes were wide open and her mouth agape. And then she immediately ran towards another room, while the man who just stood up there and sternly looked at me. And then at that moment, that's when I realized how tense the situation was, because it was middle of the night, middle of nowhere, and then two Asian guys just in front of the front yard, jumping up and down, screaming, and they could feel danger, and they could feel that we were threatening to their safety, right? And then I saw the man, and slowly moved towards his drawer. And he reached his left hand into the drawer, and he raised his right hand up like this to signal me, stop moving any closer. And then my husband behind me shrieked, and he was like, Ricky, stop jumping. Like, he could be taking out a gun. You don't know. And in my head at that moment, all the news that I heard about shooting was just rushing back to my head. And I just kept thinking, I was like, oh my God, are we trespassing right now? Like, is he allowed to shoot? Like, is that a self-defense, right? Like, if, would he be arguing a reasonable fear, as a self-defense if he shoot us? Would two Asian gay guys just jumping, would that constitute reasonable fear? I don't know, lawyer. Tell me. and also, right, like if he does shoot me as I was jumping midair, that would bring a whole new meaning of jump shot. So at that moment, the man was still looking at me stone cold, but to my relief, he took out his left hand. It was a landline phone, and then he started calling. And then 25 minutes later, police showed up, and then the couple finally was willing to come out and then apologize to us. And then the police car drove us back to our Airbnb. But ever since then, I have told myself that I will only wear a hoodie with a zipper on my pocket. That way, no man, no gun will stop me from taking any jump shot. Thank you, guys.